In recent years, simulation has become a marketing buzzword that's often more about visual realism than driving authenticity. Many developers are leaning heavily into cinematic visuals, dramatic replays, and polished UI to attract a broader, more casual audience. While this spectacle might impress on first glance, it often comes at the cost of what actually matters in a true simulator. Instead of refining the core driving experience, studios invest in what looks good on social media and YouTube trailers. The label sim racing has started to mean look like a sim instead of driving like one. And as this trend continues, there's a real danger that flashiness will be prioritized over substance, leaving serious sim racers with beautifully rendered but fundamentally shallow experiences. Now before you say, well yeah, that's syncade stuff, here's the thing. More and more titles are starting to follow this path. We've seen core physics engines stay nearly untouched for years, while new updates focus on rain effects, lighting upgrades, and showroom polish. It's not that graphics are bad. In fact, they're a valuable part of the experience when they're paired with solid fundamentals, but the development choices often seems out of touch with the needs and priorities of the sim racing community. Over the years, we've seen a pattern. Flashy upgrades and headline features take priority over core sim functionality. GT7 launched with impressive graphics and a robust car rooster, but faced significant backlash due to its aggressive microtransaction model and always online requirement, even for single-player modes. Players criticized the game's focus on monetization and visual fidelity at the expense of gameplay depth and accessibility. The controversy led to review bombing and the temporary suspension of its partnership with the FIA, highlighting a disconnect between developer priorities and player expectations. Or rFactor 2, where paid DLCs kept dropping while physics bugs and a clunky UI were left untouched. Even titles like Assetto Corsa Competizione, praised for their visuals, launched with broken triple screen support and poor VR performance, and to this day the VR performance is something that was not properly addressed. Meanwhile, Codemasters F1 series leaned heavily into cinematic story modes, while neglecting force feedback and car feel. And even iRacing, the gold standard in online racing, has faced criticism for slow feature development and misaligned priorities. Sim racing studios are often investing in what's most visible, not what's most valuable, and as a result, the genre risks drifting away from its roots in pursuit of mass appeal. But I'll be the first to say it, good visuals do matter in sim racing, even though it's not clearly the main things for many of us. Immersion is a big part of the experience, and feeling like you're really in the car, on the track, under changing light and weather can enhance the emotional connection to the driver. But as visual fidelity has improved, optimization hasn't kept up. Even with some of the best hardware available today, it's still difficult to run certain sims at max settings. And it's not always because the graphics are mind-blowing. In many cases, it's because the engine underneath simply isn't built to take full advantage of modern hardware. iRacing, for example, still struggles to properly utilize multi-core CPUs because it's built on an older engine architecture that was never designed for today's parallel processing power. And with Assetto Corsa Evo on the horizon and confirmed to be built on the Unreal Engine 5, there's no doubt the visuals will be stunning. But this comes with a big concern. The performance gap is likely to grow even wider. Yes, the game might look incredible on top-tier systems paired with the 5090 and the latest CPUs, but what about the vast majority of sim racers with mid-range hardware? Unreal Engine has never been known for being lightweight and well optimized for sims, and we've already seen it in ACC. If Unreal Engine 5 pushes that even further, we risk a situation where many users will have to lower their settings so drastically that the visual upgrade becomes meaningless. Or worse, they'll experience degraded visuals and inconsistent frame rates that actually hurt their driving. And while studios push hard to polish visuals and squeeze every ounce of visual fidelity out of the engine, less attention tends to be given to what really improves the racing experience. In my view, the most important thing sim racing needs right now aren't prettier skies or more reflections. It's better core simulation and a deeper, more engaging experience. At the top of the list is the tire model and physics. That's what makes or breaks a sim. If the tires don't behave realistically through grip buildup, slip angle, temperature variation and wear, then no amount of ray tracing or 4K resolution will make the driving feel real. But beyond the driving itself, the experience around the driving matters just as much. In single player, most sim titles still offer little more than hot lapping or basic race weekends. What's missing is a career mode with purpose, structured progression, goals, unlockable content, and the sense of becoming a better driver. Sim racing doesn't have to be soulless just because it's realistic. It can still be fun and rewarding while keeping its authenticity. On the multiplayer side, it's no secret that only iRacing really gets it right with proper driver ratings, license classes, and race scheduling. But even there, netcode issues and occasional server problems still exist. And instead of putting all the development effort into updating a graphic engine to look good in trailers, why not fix these fundamental problems first? Build the foundation, then add polish. And finally, content still matters. Players want variety, more cars, more tracks, and more ways to drive. It's not just about quantity either, but relevance and quality. The perfect physics system is meaningless if you're stuck driving the same few GT3s on the same circuits year after year. Give people a reason to keep racing, and it starts with getting the fundamentals right, then making sure the sim offers more than just good driving. It should offer a reason to keep coming back. So yes, the graphics are nice, they make sim racing look incredible, and there's no denying the wow factor. But if we keep chasing eye-candy while neglecting what really matters like actual racing, then we're just building a pretty shell around an empty core. As sim racers, we should be asking for deeper experiences, smarter systems, and meaningful progression that keeps us hooked, not just for a few laps, but for the long run. That's pretty much how I see it. If you like this video, consider subscribing, share your thoughts on my Discord server or in the comments, and looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.